Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is the 12th of July, minute to 8 o'clock. If you're hearing my voice, that is this virus that I am wrestling with. I don't get sick, I tell people all the time, I don't get sick. My constitution's strong. My partner Richard Noel tell me, what get me sick, rotten bottle. And I find that is one of the funniest things I have ever heard. There are so many things I wanted to deal with tonight. But then I end up on my partner Stefan Rees. Or you know Stefan as the host of the morning show on Synergy TV. And he just did a live video, finished a couple minutes ago. And some of the issues that Stefan touched on, his video was named We Really in a Mess. And I say, you know what? I'll come in with that. And I'll come in with you. And I was on the conversation with Stefan. And I was responding to some of the issues he was raising. And I want to continue the conversation here for my followers and the PEP supporters. Because right now as we speaking, Keith Rowley is in Belmont East. Stunting to fool poor black people. That's where he is now. Stunting to fool them. Because there is nothing Keith Rowley can tell Belmont. Zaf Rahman made a comment on one of my threads today and I have to repost it. And I wish I could tag him. So I add him as a friend. So I could tag him so he get the credit for this post. Because it was spot on. It was almost, I don't want to use the word obscene in its correctness. You ever get, somebody ever say something to you and you feel it like a punch to the gut? Zaf Rahman said, the arsonists coming to you to vote for them to put out the fire. Jesus H. Christ. It couldn't be more eloquently said than that. And I'm coming to deal with all the issues Stefan raised because Stefan Rees, he put himself down in the end and say he have common sense, but he don't have book sense. Stefan, I want to tell you something and I want you to hear me say this. It's one of the most read people that you know. The people who have changed the world are not the people with the degrees. They've never been the people who change the world. Degrees are for people, and I'm not knocking degrees, but degreed people usually fall into the system and makes it work. And there is a role for that. There is a role for that. But the people who change the world, the people who change the world, I don't want to get sidetracked, but the people who change the world, I look back on names like Tesla and Ford, Goodyear, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison has more patents than anybody in history. Thomas Edison. And say what you want about him, he was prolific and consistent. When Thomas Edison was a little boy, his mother was summoned to the school. And he was about 11 years old. In those days, 9 or 10. In those days, school didn't last longer than until he was about 12 years old. And that day was the last day that little Thomas was in school. And when he went home, his mom told him that the principal told her that he is so intensely brilliant, he is so naturally amazing in his thinking that he's left the school behind, that there is nothing left for the school to teach him. So he went on to a life of inventing and critical thinking and logical deduction on his own. When his mother died, he found the letter that the school gave his mother. And what the principal told his mother that day is her son is slow. He is naturally stupid. And that there is nothing the school could do for him any longer. But Mrs. Edison, his mother knew, she knew that what you think of yourself, how you envision. James Irwin wrote in As a Man Thinketh, there is a line in that book that has etched itself into my memory. No man can ever rise higher than his own vision of himself. That Again, critical thinking. Put that as a foundation stone in your knowledge. I'll tell you why. The difference between Barack Obama and the guys who park cars to wash cars outside Zen and the other clubs and things is Barack Obama saw himself as a president. Or better, the car parkers see themselves as broken, drug-addicted sufferers. You cannot rise higher than how you see yourself. Stephen Rees, I want to tell you something. You, and I will say it tonight, you could support PNM, UNC, you could support who you want. There are few journalists, and I call you a journalist, my friend, and I don't use that word lightly. There are few journalists I have encountered along the road that of my life that I hold in greater esteem than you, Stephen Rees, for one reason more than anything else. You, Stephen Rees, in my view, and it is not a humble view. In this view, it is an arrogant, self-belief view. You are a man of immense integrity, and that is a foundation stone of journalism. Journalism, what media sells is trust. The media sells trust. When the media speaks, you are supposed to believe what they say. You're supposed to be readily informed. That is the function and purpose of media. Listen where I'm going. When Rhoda Barrett told Felicia Holder on Power 102 that all news in Trinidad and Tobago was paid for by political parties, she exposed them. She exposed herself. That she, a University of the West Indies, I kid you not, lecturer, how that comes to be, how two brains fit in that head, I don't know. How could Rhoda Barrett tell the nation live on Power 102 that the news that coming out of Power 102 is paid for by political parties? That if the Progressive Empowerment Party wants to be covered in the news, we have to pay for that. I want Rhoda Barrett and the rest of Trinidad and Tobago to understand the difference between news and paid for content. Because from the moment you start dressing up news to suit people who are paying you for it, that is propaganda. That is marketing. That has nothing to do with news. News started from people, they used to call them, what the hell? Their job was to shout to the people what the king was doing, what the queen was doing, what was happening in the community. They used to walk around and tell people. And when Gutenberg invented the printing press, because they used to write it down. They used to write down a newspaper was literally a piece of paper with the news on it. That's where the term newspaper come from. This is what's happening in our village today. And somebody in the village, Benjamin Franklin, is world famous for being media. He was a newspaper man. Newspaper is a piece of paper with the news written down. When Gutenberg, because the newspaper used to be passed along in the order of the hierarchy of the community, and everybody get to read it. And by the end of the day, if you read it last, you get in what they used to call stale news. Everybody else know. All of that come from hundreds of years ago. Gutenberg, when he created the printing press, and it was possible for everybody to get a newspaper at the same time, then people got into the business of passing off that news to cover the cost. But it never had to do with you having someone pay for the content of the news. You paid to buy your printed paper, because paper and ink in those days were ridiculously expensive. And they used to have people selling the newspaper. That was their job. But it never had anything like political parties paying for their news. And so Stefan, I want to come back to this, brother. You hold tight to your integrity, brother. You hold tight to your ethics. Don't let nobody come along and offer you 30 pieces of silver like Fazir Mohammed and Kijan Haynes and Hema Ramkisoon. Don't let nobody come and put you up in apartments like some of these journalists and news readers on TV6 and CNC3. You carry yourself where you're going, brother. The God you believe in will take care of you. I see that for you, and I wish that for you. The country that we want, Trinidad and Tobago, is not going to happen by more of us scratching each other's eyes out. It's not going to happen by more of us fighting each other down. It's not going to happen by more of us getting more and more greedy and more of us getting more and more rich, because that is a race with no end, and it's a foolish race. Because at the end of the day, if all of us have $1 million worth nothing. What matters is how we function as a people, as a society. There are things that we need to return to, basic knowledge. We need to return to foundation knowledge. That's what we need to return to. How a society and a community, and a society, a nation, is a collection of communities. If we get our communities to work, and that is the entire Progressive Empowerment Party policy, you could call it that in a nutshell. Fix the communities, fix the country. That's it. That's it. Of course, we stand for things. One people under one flag, bring the government closer to the people. We stand for honesty, integrity, ethics, bringing morality back into public life, all of that. But if you fix the community, and that is why our Constituency Board of Supervisors plan is the solution to Trinidad and Tobago. There are a lot of things. If somebody handed you a can of food, but they didn't give you a can opener, the rest of the time you will spend trying to come up with the best way to free the food from inside the can. That's your whole mission. Or a bottle of wine without a wine cork. You have to come up with a way to free the food or free the wine. Critical thinking works like that. Our mission is to give people the opportunity to uncork, disrobe latent knowledge, innate wisdom, to get people. We don't want to teach you what to think. We want to, I didn't want to use the word teach. We want to guide you how to think. And that's where we need to be. Listen to what Shari Wilson. Shari Wilson did a piece tonight. I read this thing. I said, Jesus, this woman is so incredible in her critical thinking. Shari Wilson. I wait for when she writes. We have some members of the PEP. Her, Delwood, Braffett. When they write, I wait to see where their minds were going. Shari wrote something tonight, and I had to take an excerpt from it. But you go and find Shari Wilson Wall. And for those of you who don't know, all the critical thinkers in Trinidad and Tobago are gravitating towards the Progressive Empowerment Party for a reason. You can't fool them. You can't fool God Christopher. God Christopher out there too long. God Christopher out there too long. He sees too much. God Christopher deal with every shade of politician in this country. And for God Christopher to jump out himself and endorse the PEP, understand where we coming from now. This is no longer a play party. This is a gathering of the brain trust of Trinidad and Tobago. When Vernon de Lima, listen to me carefully, I'm coming to read Shari thing and then I'm going to deal with Stefan. We are lost, we on track. When Vernon de Lima, the most respected jurist at the criminal bar in this nation's history, bar none, there is no lawyer of more integrity, no attorney. When you see how Vernon de Lima lives, what he drives, my training partner in the gym is one of the most respected, well-known pediatric surgeons in this country. And he drives a van and he lives in a townhouse. These are the people that get my ear, that get me to stop. I don't want to see your Mercedes-Benz that looking like a spacecraft and you have that and your wife driving a Range Rover and all this stunting at the top of the hill. Kiss my ass with that. Theft is as old as time. Anybody could be a successful bandit in this country, especially in a nation where we fool black people and Indian people to feel like as long as they fight each other, somebody could win. So wrestle forever. It's like one of those, you know, when you read the old fables, they say like the man on the sea, they put a man on his back and he was destined to carry that man forever. Or like the tale of the rhyme of the ancient mariner. When you hear, he was for the rest of his life, he had to have a pelican around his neck and walk around with that. We, Trinidad and Tobago, we've allowed people to put black people and Indian people in an eternal wrestle for no reason. Understand, there is no other country on planet Earth of 9 billion people. We are 1.4 million. And there is no other country of the 9 billion people on planet Earth where Indian people and African at war. Nowhere else. Just here. We that stupid. We that foolish. 1 billion Indian, 900 million African. They don't fight nowhere else, but they're fighting in Trinidad and Tobago. Like they have something here to fight for. Like jackasses, we take that chain up and locked in eternal combat for good. And the people who sit atop are just raping the country while you distracted fighting your brother. Fighting your brother. Listen to what Shari Wilson had to say. The state of this nation is depressing. We are at fault for this, but not because we are lazy, corrupt, or stupid. We are no more lazy, corrupt, or stupid than the citizens of most developed countries. Instead, we are at fault because we love our government officials more than we love ourselves. Because we respect public authority more than we respect our dignity. Because we have turned government into religion, replacing healthy cynicism with blind faith. And now we are on our own. You will not find that in the Guardian or the Express. You're not finding that in TV6 News. You're not finding that in Newsday, because that can't thief money. What Shari Wilson did there was used her emotional intelligence, her critical thinking for free. That is worth money. When Stephen Rees talked, and I just told him on his thing, your brand is your stock in trade. Protect it. When Stephen Rees did that video for an hour just now, he didn't have to. He didn't have to, but he did it out of love of country. And that is the most valuable gift. They say the perfect act of giving stopped at the gift. When you have somebody who cares enough about their country that they will put aside time and life and treasure to help rescue people. Stefan talked about it in his video, Ungrateful People. Ungrateful. When I listen to Rhoda Barrett bad talk me, assassinate my character, defame me, and people bring in screenshots and saying, but Rhoda, look, you used to follow the man. Look, you used to say the man is the greatest thinker in Trinidad. Look, you said, Rhoda, that Philip Edward Alexander had the mind to fix TNT. You said that. Which one of those is true? What is the difference? Money. PNM money. PNM money. PNM money that paying her bills. That's the difference. She don't care about nothing. She don't care about country. She don't care about you. She cares about having her needs met. And as long as her needs met, Wayne Dyer said there is no tree in the forest so foolish as to have branches that fight among themselves. We are that. We are a nation of easily duped people. But the part of Shari Wilson's post that I want to challenge is the last line. And now we are on our own. No, Shari. I feel the people waking up. I feel the people wake up. I'm reading things that say you can't put that genie back in the bottle. I feel the people wake up. And all this shit and all these stunts Faris want to try, I think the people wake up. I think Keith Rowley didn't expect that slap in the face, the pushback from the people when he ignored the mass shooting in Chagaramas. So now he want to come 3 days later, rending his garment, pulling out his hair and saying he distraught. Kiss my ass, you disgusting, wasteful jackass. Keith Rowley, my prime minister, you stunting fool, you empty vessel. 3 days ago, we knew that little boy got shot. That little 8-year-old boy was a victim. You didn't know? Social media was ablaze when the guns were still firing. Where's your national security apparatus, you failed waste of space? You and your entire government. We live in a country where the prime minister is a dud. The attorney general is a joke. The finance minister is a clown. The national security minister is questionable at best. I want to find out what was the outcome of that lawsuit in New York City when the judge made him give an apartment back to a man for $10 US that he said the man sold to him for free. We have a criminal, incompetent, mismanaged, corrupt government. Racist to the core. Racist to the core. There is a level of PNM that is just black people fooling black people, you know. That's their whole work. That's their whole work. They call it bringing out the vote. That's what PNM calls it, bringing out the vote. It's an entire level of black people whose job it is to fool other black people. It's like a pyramid scheme. The PNM is they call themselves street captains and team captains. You're responsible for bringing a whole bunch of your brothers and sisters and fool them. But we didn't invent that. That happened in Africa since the days of slavery. There's a walk with no end, the point of no return. We didn't invent this. PNM didn't make that up. PNM learned. PNM learned how easy it is to abuse other people's trust. But above that layer that fooling black people, there is a layer that just gorging and eating while black people distracted and Indian people fighting. When all of you talking bullshit about Indian time now and African time now, neither of your time has ever come in 56 years. And $3 trillion later, all you're still suffering, your children suffering, your country in a mess. The 30 pieces of silver you get in your pocket can't help you when you reach in the hospital. It can't help you when the wolf reach your door. It can't help you tonight when you're sleeping. If criminals decide to come in your yard, it can't help you. 30 pieces of silver, you can't show them your PNM or your UNC party card. Our country is a failed nation and a mess. But Stefan can't say those things yet. He get in there. I'm watching him. I'm following Stefan for a while. He get in there. Stefan, I guarantee you this. One morning on Synergy TV on Breaking Dawn, Stefan is going to lose his cool and quit that job and come and join the Progressive Empowerment Party. And I am telling him now, we have a position waiting for him. Like we have a position waiting for Gad Christopher. Like we have a position waiting for Robert Amar. And the most respected economist in the country, Patrick Watson, who has endorsed the PEP, we have a position for him. We have a position for Ghassan Youssef, the most effective mayor in the history of this country, who transformed Arima in a term and has endorsed the PEP. We have a position for him. We have a position for everybody because this is a family. What we're trying to get is one nation under one flag with all of our people rowing in the same direction. We want to be the rising tide that lifts all boats. We want to end the created poverty and the mismanagement that allows corruption to take place. Not all police corrupt, but there are corrupt police. And unless and until you get a government that is willing to bell that cat, we're going nowhere. We're going nowhere and the rats will continue to be eaten in silence. You're trying to tell me, and I want to say this to Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this carefully. You could cut this and tell any PNM man this. When they ask you why you're voting for the PEP, why you support this party, ask this question. How is it possible that a brazen mass shooting could take place in Chagaramas, a spit and a stone's throw from the CDA police post, inside an army base, in a part of Trinidad that has one road in and one road out, and for which you have to pass a street with a police station 6 minutes after you drive. And if you thought to jump in the water, that is also where the entire Coast Guard and 9 ships we own are perpetually tied. And 1.5 minutes away is the helicopter base station that could have put 6 helicopters in the air and lit up Chagaramas. How did those people escape? Keith Rowley, I tell you this, straight to your face. You are a deceitful liar. You are a cancer and everything that is wrong with Trinidad and Tobago. You cannot explain how we have such a failed national security apparatus that people could have shot and killed multiples of people in a family environment and escape in a place that is so easily isolated. A monkey in a 3-piece suit could do it. How come you don't know how? How come your 3 ministers of national security don't know how and were not fired? How come they weren't put on the spot? How come they have not yet apologized? Where's your 13th stint acting commissioner of police and your elite police unit that could have gone and find Carl Membert's son's phone? Where are they for the people who shot this 8-year-old boy? You want to pull out your hair and rend your garments and distraught? Bullshit! Keith Rowley, bullshit. I call bullshit, brother. And when I told Fazir Mohammed last year, well, it was early this year, when he asked me, how can I justify calling the Prime Minister a jackass? I told him, everybody in this country thinks our Prime Minister is a jackass. We are led by a fool. And we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are taking this for far too long. It is time for us to stand up and say enough. Enough. This has nothing to do with black and Indian. This has to do with run my blasted country. Run it. That's your job, that's your work, that's your purpose, that is your reason. The well-being of the citizens, the safety of the citizens, the ability to own a home, clean the road, clean the drain, prevent the flooding. That's your work, education, healthcare, that's your purpose. We ain't paying you to stunt and pose and clink glass and pull at little girls. Your work is to serve the people. If you can't do it, quit the work, fire yourself. Waste of freaking time. Waste of time. Stefan raised some issues tonight. Let's touch them. Let's touch them from a solutions point of view. And Stefan, I also want to tell you something. Bro, you talk about why some of these people is bad talk me and defame my name. I want to say two things to you. One, all that talk they give, I survived it to the point people started asking them, people that never spoke to me in life, that have no reason to defend me, and say, if all you say about that man is true, how come he never end up in a court or charged with anything? How come? As one. Two, Stefan, the day you step out yourself and you get involved in a political organization and stand against one or the two, their sycophants are going to come at you and make things up for you that you didn't know you do. And you will have to decide how you're defending that. You will then see what I have been dealing with for the past 18 months. But you know what happened? You see that Bible quote, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I'm standing on that. Because they form the weapons. They form the weapons. They form them. But they never prosper. Kijan Haynes, he ever prosper? The media, look at the media playing catch up and chase their tail right now. What is the fastest growing political movement in this country's history? The Progressive Empowerment Party. This party has changed the narrative of the country. This is not boast, this is fact. The PNM and the UNC came into Belmont East and Barataria to stunt and bacchanal and noise their way through. And the people, almost as one, ignored them. And the PEP that has been leading a conversation about issues, about resolutions, about solutions, about practical plans, policies, programs, and ideas that could redevelop the communities to the benefit of all of the people, attracted them. They're hungry for more. They say, tell us more. We're interested to know, how do we fix it? How do we get from here to there? And the PNM and the UNC saw that, and now they abandoned. Keith Rowley, you can imagine they sent Stuart Young in a leotard to Zumba for them last week, and get them and bring a Rasta man to raise football and hand out rum. Like, that is what the people of Belmont need. But the people of Belmont see through it. You see, the PNM and the UNC and the Newsday article that acknowledged it. In a time when the choices was PNM and UNC, you could have bullshit the people and one bullshit be the other. But now there is a clear light. Now there is a national conversation. Look at my partner on this thread tonight, Lyndon Mack. Me and Lyndon Mack followed publicly twice. I block him, all kind of thing, because we disagree on issues. And I want to work together with Lyndon Mack in Tobago, because I think Lyndon Mack is a patriot and a creative thinker. And that is the Progressive Empowerment Party. This is not a suck up and come and make yourself part of some cult of personality. This is a group of people. We have more meetings than anybody. I think we have more meetings than the cabinet. But when we get together, partner, we just take this thing apart, you know, and we break it down, and we look at the best way forward possibly. And we never, ever have the opportunity to suborn wrongdoing. We always stand for justice, lawfulness, the Constitution. This is a political organization that still wants to believe in the power of your vote in this democracy, in a republic, a nation ruled by law, to get us beyond the madness of Trinidad and Tobago. That is who the Progressive Empowerment Party is. I say again, I want no job, I want no post. It's up to the people. And if we find a better, more suitable candidate for Prime Minister, put that person there. I don't want none of this. This is for love of country. This is not even to make friends, and I am not the only one. There are some people in the PEP that you would swear, because they're in politics, they should like wanting to make friends and hang out with people and party. We're not on that life. We're not about that life. This is a party that has gotten together to fix the country. We bring to the table our views and we discuss them, sometimes in a very heated way. We've lost members who didn't understand that the mission don't change. The mission does not change. And I've said to the party, I've said to the PEP, after the election, I am tendering my resignation until there is an internal election. They have no more interim in front of my name. I would have led the party to an election, through an election, depending on the outcome. It matters not to me. We could win both seats. My integrity at stake, and that's important to me. My integrity is important to me. What people say about me don't matter to me. My mother, my son, well now I have a daughter, my son and my daughter and myself. When I look in the mirror, I want to see a man of real value looking back at me. I want when I lie down on my bed, they say that at the end of it, you must get welcomed into heaven. Come son, come, a life well lived. I want you to understand, whatever you believe, if that is not what drives you, if your tombstone, what is to be etched on that tombstone, doesn't drive you, I don't know what will. But here lies Philip Edward Alexander, a good man. That is what I want for me. That's what I want. I want to know that I have touched lives, that I have made a difference, that the gifts and the talents I was given, that I use them to the benefit of the masses. That's my whole role. That's my purpose. You don't love me. You don't like me. You have to respect me. Because one interaction with me, and you will understand that I know what I am doing, and I am driven for a higher cause. I am driven for a higher cause. When I told Steve Kahn in Power 102 yesterday that you see your PNM panel, I don't mind coming on your show. It's a PNM shooting gallery. I have no problem. I will come and I will hold my own. But my lawyers want to know, because the two of them didn't have enough money to stand up for a defamation lawsuit. So I want to know, because I knew that they were planning to defame me and scandalize my name because the PNM policy. I am betting you tonight, Camille Robinson Regis, Stuart Young and Keith Rowley going to assassinate my character in St. Francois. That's what they reached. That's what's left. That's all that's left. And none of their sycophants and the talking heads getting the job done. So they had to come and do it themselves. But the moment Keith Rowley called my name, game on. Game on. The moment Keith Rowley calls my name, game on. Because I will sue you, you stunting son of a bitch. And my attorneys will follow you into the parliament and pierce that privilege. You cannot continue to defame and scandalize and lie, you deceitful double-tongued son of a bitch. Where is Section 34? Where is Emailgate? Where is everything that you said about Patrick Manning that you used to get yourself into office after office? All of it is crookedness, criminality, lie, deceit, and conspiracy to defraud. That is our Prime Minister. I want you to hear me. I'm not Brian Stone. I want to see you in a court of law. Keep Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley, first black Syrian, king of the infidels. I want to see you in a court of law. Let's do that. Your lawyers in training with all kind of small case. You know it always has to come down to me and you, Kitos. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's take the conversation to the people. You're brave, you have stones. Stop hiding. Stop pelting from the sideline. Stop paying people to attack me. You keep Christopher Rowley. I tell you, I will come Balize House. We could debate there. Let's talk track record. Bring me in your home. Let's go. Let's go and do it live. Bring all of your corrupt, complicit, biased journalists. Bring them. Let's do it. Let's talk everything. You talk about my name and character, but let me bring up Cleaver Heights and land date. Let's go. Let's go. Let me... I don't want to get sidetracked. I don't want to get sidetracked. Trinidad and Tobago is deserving of so much more. Trinidad and Tobago is deserving of so much more. When Herbert Volney and Fitzgerald Hines ganged up on me on Gassan Youssef Thread this week, I had to tell Fitzgerald Hines, you are a former police officer, an existing lawyer, and a sworn officer of the court. You are a member of parliament. And you are associating with a criminal. Herbert Volney is a self-admitted criminal who used the parliament to hijack the legislature to write a law to free corrupt members of a former version of the UNC. There is no other way to couch that. He committed an act that should be treason, and I do not yet understand how that did not make the bar for misbehavior in public office as a member of parliament and a government minister, and why the director of public prosecutions did not charge Herbert Volney. I don't understand that. To this day, Herbert Volney admitted and confessed in the Attorney General's office, no less. And Fitzgerald Hines If you don't understand the difference between fish and fowl, you deserve to be rotting with the pigs, the pig that you are. Because you're nothing more than a pig. You are Keith Christopher Rowley's paid attack dog. And that is your job, to come and call me peanut and try to minimize me. But you can't, because I have more knowledge in my head than the entire PNM combined. And all of the character assassination, the defamation, the ridicule, the scandalizing aside, let's get together and talk how we fix Trinidad and Tobago. Because that is the function, reason, and purpose of government, the well-being of citizens. And I want to shine a light on you band of cockroaches to demonstrate to the people of Trinidad and Tobago why empty vessels really do make the most noise. And of all the empty vessels we've ever encountered in Trinidad and Tobago's history, this version of PNM, Stuart Young, Fitzgerald Hines, Carl Mimbert, Shamfa Cudjoe, Darrell Smith, look at them. Look at them. By your fruits shall we know ye. By your fruits. Look at the PNM. Look at that government and tell me if something not wrong with us as a people, that we would tolerate still that criminal enterprise as government. We've been taught, fooled, conned into believing that office holders are above reproach. That word honorable, none of them deserve it. Not one. And you will never hear it. They are not entitled to it. Somebody told me, ignore the man, respect the office. Kiss my ass. You want to respect the office? Fire the man who is bringing the office into odium and disrepute. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot have a shit snake, jackass, bandit sit down in a public office and then tell me respect the office. It does not work so. And for the people who say how I speak is raw around the edges or rough, how you want me to say this? How do you want me to tell you when people wake you up in the middle of the night to tell you, come outside, the house is on fire? Do you want it said with a sense of urgency and clear, calm equanimity? Or do you want to hear, hey, the house is on fire, get outside? Trinidad and Tobago is burning to the ground around us all. Trinidad and Tobago, and I would like to be Stefan. I would love to throw on my little wife beaters, jump in my car and go for a drive and make a video. And love everybody, listen. I like that. I will do that. But from the moment that you step up against the parasitic oligarchy, these people who are making the hundreds of millions of dollars for bullshit contracts under the PNM and the UNC, they have money to pay legal fees. And they have money to sponsor and pay knuckle draggers and sufferers to come and attack you. And I push past all of them. I make no distinction. I see the leaders of the two parties, Darumai and this jackass. And that is our options. That has been our options up to today. The Progressive Empowerment Party. You cannot, in good conscience, look at that gathering of critical thinking, civic-minded patriots who has brought to this nation the greatest amalgamation of plans, programs, policies, and ideas designed to undo and redo the criminal conspiracy that has defrauded this country and reboot this republic into a better place. You can't. Let's talk policy, national security, clean up the police service, establish the maritime security wall, repurpose the army to homeland security, and incentivize and motivate law enforcement in Trinidad and Tobago. You hear that sentence? See how simple? We can write books out of that, but that sentence tells you that we have a plan, a map, and an illumination. We know where we're going. But you can't just fix law enforcement and have a broken administration of justice. We say, put a clock on the courts. Everything that exists from the day we come to office, go backwards, is cold cases. And everything that going forward is current cases. And in the cold case court, we will leave the judges and the lawyers to wrap it up until eternity for the 400 years that they need for that. But the current case court, that will have a clock on it. Every civil matter, every criminal matter. 3 years for civil matters, 5 years for criminal matters. Judges who fail to bring their cases in under the 3-year and the 5-year bar will be fired. Find another way to say it, but it's the same thing. Will be put out to pasture, will be sent to another job. This is how you make the country work. Proper law enforcement, proper administration of justice. Come to the prisons. come to the prisons, because people end up in prisons failing in society. And it's an indictment and an indication of social collapse in a country when you have that much criminality. Our job is to make sure that we rescue people from the education level. And our most massive ministry will always be our social development and management ministry. Because if you are not managing your people, what is the point of you? Our prisons we plan to turn into schools, trade schools, and universities. That if you've been sentenced for 30, 40, 50 years in jail, but you get your degree, and you get your master's, and you get your PhD, we'll cut your time. Because a man with a PhD is different to the illiterate fool that had no life choices, that fell through the cracks and got himself in jail. That's the truth. That is basic science. Even the most dimwit could understand that. That a man or a woman with hope and opportunity aims for betterment. It is natural. It is natural. You call that momentum. Social momentum. It's a science, you know. Once you manage all of your people, when you see the videos in Japan and Singapore, wherever they say, I can leave my laptop, my wallet, my car keys on the table and go for a walk through the mall and nobody will touch it, it's because they have their own. And they know that justice and the administration of justice and law enforcement is swift, certain, and sure. So national security is important, the courts important, the prisons important. Flooding, today rain, flood again. And Trinidadians want to bad talk one another. Trinidadians, but I want to use the analogy, no one raindrop ever considers itself as having caused the flood. We are responsible for the floods. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are responsible for all the flooding in Trinidad and Tobago. We, us collectively. But not just because we stink and we dirty and we throw bottles in the drain. Because we keep voting government in the power to understand they have a basic responsibility to provide trash receptacle bins. Because the moment you provide trash receptacle bins, you could then provide litter wardens. You could take unemployed people, train them to write a ticket and tell them 50% of the ticket is yours. Litter wardens, just write a ticket. But you have to have trash receptacle bins. It's like charging a man for peeing on a lamppost, but they have no public toilets in the country. What are you going to do? Dead from urine poison? We have to provide public toilets. The well-being of the citizens, the function of the government. You have a responsibility to provide public toilets. Free of charge. It's a function of society. Maracas Beach shouldn't be charging $5 and every jackass to tell me you need the $5 from the P to maintain anything. You're an ass. This is a country that's $60 billion budget. That is normal infrastructure management and upkeep. A toilet has lasted 1,000 years. You could build toilets in this country out of stainless steel and ceramic or porcelain with sprinklers in the roof and hot water. And at the end of the day, just turn it on and wash itself, spray it down with a power hose, and tomorrow you can eat off it. That's what they do in first world countries. That's what they do. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. I don't have to charge a man $5 to piss to do it. We spend $60 billion a year. If it don't cover that, then by Christ, what does it cover? But come back to the flooding, receptacle bins, timely emptying of the receptacle bins. You're going to tell me about the vagrants that's open the bins. Vagrancy and homeless people is a symptom of a failed nation. We provided Kamala in the first year of her government with something called the Second Chance Foundation that doesn't round up the homeless and throw them. You have to take them with dignity and respect. These are heirs and shareholders of Trinidad as well. These homeless people also have a stake in this country. And you have to treat them with that respect. They are citizens. They are owners of Trinidad and Tobago. Of the $60 billion you have as a budget, 90% of that is their money. Their own. The homeless and the vagrants, they have a stake in that too. So treat them with dignity and respect. There are people who ended up homeless because of drug addiction. We can manage and mitigate that. There are people who ended up homeless because they are mental illness. They have mental illness. There are ways to treat and manage that. And there are people who end up homeless because they've literally fallen through society's cracks. They're illiterate, they have no hope, they have no opportunity, they've lost everything, and this is where they are. And those are the easiest to fix. Repurpose, redirect, put them back on track and get them going forward. Social development and management. So no, we do not have to have homeless people emptying the bins. Come back to the bin. Provide trash receptacles that are emptied on time. and put a 25 cents charge on every plastic bottle manufactured or imported into Trinidad and Tobago. 25 cents, a redemption charge, so that the indigent, the same homeless, those who are unemployable, or even entrepreneurs, because scavenging and trash collection is a business. In a world that produces billions of tons of garbage, recycling, repurposing, reusing is a business. So we could end up with entrepreneurs whose entire job, their day work, is to move with bands of scavengers picking up plastic bottles everywhere and taking it for redemption. The 25 cents is for redemption because we get the bottle. We get the bottle to break down into pellets and strands, to add to road servicing and concrete and construction, to give them flexibility and strength. To the jackasses who do not understand, that is what they mean by repurpose, reuse, reduce, recycle. I just broke it down for you. That our entire plastic industry could have a life cycle of its own. And we could clean this nation and not have flooding. So we don't have to be cussing one another because we pretending it's other people besides we who drinking all them water bottle and all them sewage bottle. No one raindrop ever considers itself as having caused a flood. If you do one thing, just that 25 cents tax on Dominic Hadid Blue Waters, on Coca-Cola, on Ken Charles Solo, on Ali Mohammed SM Jalil, you put that 25 cents on all of the imported bottles that Hadco and Amco and all the other cos bringing in the country. And you will find that if you pay that as a redemption tax to scavengers, they will literally pick this country clean. There will be no flooding. Move forward. Move forward. Educate the people, provide them with proper opportunities to make a living, give them a chance to own a home. Every single citizen in this country who has an income should be allowed the opportunity to own a home. It doesn't have to be a mansion, just a place to live. We build houses far too big that we do not need, just to keep people like Standard, Scotts and American Stores millionaires for no purpose. We buy shit to dust for the rest of our lives. Practice a minimalist lifestyle. You'll be happier and you wouldn't have to wake up every day and wipe down shit that all you do is that look at it. But that's for you to decide, not me. My ego not tied to possessions. But I'm just telling you, a simple, frugal life gives you the opportunity to maximize your real potential. You don't know what you were born for. You don't know what your natural skill sets are. But 99.99999% of our people go to their graves in this country with their real gifts unopened. We don't know. We spend our time gathering and consuming. That's what we do. We gather and consume. Critical thinking is scoffed at. Robert Amar played an audio clip of your Prime Minister saying to the nation on national television that diversification is a myth. The man is a jackass. That is your Prime Minister, but he is a jackass. I want to tell you something. Shipping turnaround will make this country billionaires. Cruise ship tourism and 10 marinas in Tobago will make this country billionaires. A proper yachting industry will make this country billionaires. You see, we ain't touched land yet. We're still in the water. Yachting, shipping turnaround and cruise ship. We ain't reached on the land yet and we're billionaires 3 times over. Let's talk agriculture. Let's talk agriculture. Avocado is earning Mexico $1.5 billion every year for an avocado that doesn't compare in any way to what grows naturally in Trinidad and Tobago. We have the sweetest avocado that you will ever eat, and we could quickly corner that market. Peppers, scorpion peppers, Moruga scorpion pepper is used in pepper spray. 600 million containers a year. Why can't we be contributing to that? Marijuana, decriminalize marijuana. Empty the 90% of people in jail on some marijuana-related crime. Let them go! Let them go. If you're not locking people up for rum, don't lock them up for marijuana. It's the same bullshit. Decriminalize the marijuana for personal use and for growth for export. Come on, man. Let's grow the shit up. Let's grow up. Let's grow up as a nation. Everybody smoking weed. Ministers, judges, lawyers. I know them. I don't want you drunk flying my plane. I don't want you high flying my plane. I don't want you drunk performing my surgery. I don't want you high performing my surgery. What you do in your downtime, what you stick into yourself is of no concern to me. Plain talk? we still talk about things that are not the things that we are the best in the world at. We are the best in the world at pitch. Trinidad and Tobago, Pitch Lake at La Brea, is the only one of its kind. That size, that quantity, that quality. We are the best in the world at that. And if we tapped it just for roof sealing in concrete, we would be billionaires times over, because there are hundreds of millions of buildings built every year that need waterproofing and sealing, and that is the perfect use of pitch. It is flexible for hot sun and cool, and it allows you to waterproof and seal easily, readily, quickly, and cheaply. That pitch, best in the world at. Cocoa. They will never be able to undo the fact that the indigenous cocoa to Trinidad, that strain, is the best in the world. It's the best. It is something about our environment and our climate and our soil. It's not duplicatable. They've tried. They've taken our cocoa and they tried to grow it all over the world. It doesn't come out the same. It has to grow in Trinidad, and it's the best in the world. It's the best in the world. The largest brain coral in the world, the only of its kind. The oldest old-growth forest is in Tobago. The nylon pool, there is nothing else like that natural wonder of the world anywhere else in the world. Trinidad and Tobago, if all we were doing was proper tourism, there are places in Mexico and Bahamas and Bermuda that makes hundreds of billions of dollars on tourism. And yes, tourism is nice for your country. When you big into tourism, you have people coming and going and exchanging ideas, and we create opportunities for people to talk and meet and share ideas. We could do that. Tourism. But Eric Williams made an ass and a mockery of the people with his Massa Day Done bullshit. He did that to tap into people's slavery mindset, Afro consciousness. Massa Day Done. And all Eric Williams did was establish himself and his P&M owners and operators as the new Massa. New Massa. Because if Calder had become a billionaire, if Johnny O'Halloran become a billionaire, if the stunting jackasses around Keith Rowley now are becoming billionaires, and none of them are black, Massa Day really done? Massa Day really done? None of this you hear on the media, because the media is owned and operated by people who are benefiting from the government. The day Trinidadians wake up and realize and see the whole construct for what it is, the banks, the media, the Chamber of Commerce, and the politicians, the day Trinidadians see that construct for what it is, the contractocracy, the parasitic oligarchy, the thing that has sucked the life and future and plans and hopes and dreams of people of this country away and out, and enrich themselves to stunt and fool, because they make themselves millionaires and then they're dead and stupid and gone, cockroach and eating their eyeball. And they feel like somehow they've accomplished something because they're successful thieves. If you could get yourself a contract that the country does not need at a price in excess of what you know it is rightfully worth, you're a thief. No matter how high up in the church, temple, or mosque you sit, you are still a thief. And if you've stolen the money and you're giving some of it to the poor, you're just giving away blood money. But you're still a thief. Fundamentally, when you look in the mirror, you're looking at a thief. When your children call you mommy and daddy, they are speaking to successful thieves. You are empowering your children with blood money, and you're making a mockery of your country. And most importantly, you've taken advantage of any opportunity afforded to you to make a mess of the country that you were born into. Now you tell me, how it is anybody in this country could respect any of these stunting jackasses we've ever had as government. But that is why Belmont East is going to vote Felicia Holder as their councillor on Monday, because they know that they've had a chance. They have a chance now. They have opportunity. So if tonight in St. Francois School, Keith Rowley and Camille Robinson make them line up like they're coming for communion and hand everybody a phone or $500 on a jersey, they're going to take it, but they're still voting PEP. They're not stupid anymore. They're taking your money. They're taking your jersey, because they need things to wash car. They're taking the phone. And to our polling agents, pay attention to what's going on in the polling booth. Nobody is allowed to take out a phone and take a picture of their ballot so that they could WhatsApp it to the PNM and the UNC to prove they vote, so they could collect money. All of that is voter fraud. So you could challenge our polling agents, and we're telling you, you could challenge them walking in the booth with a phone in their hand. And if they get around in their pocket, you could raise an alarm. And there's a police officer for that. We have no ballot stuffing in the box. We have no pictures of no corrupt voting. We want you to come in, vote and go. We're going to safeguard the democracy. Trinidad and Tobago is going to have a real government. When the Progressive Empowerment Party becomes government, people are still tentatively taking baby steps. We're grown, we're 56 years old, but we're taking baby steps now because we're realizing, wait a minute, this party, these people, this man, talking about things that we should have been talking since 1962. What were we doing? It's not too late. It is never too late to start over. I remember watching the Berlin Wall fall and gray-haired men and women with nothing but the clothes on their back coming through. They have no plan, but they have hope. And the most intoxicating human endeavors are built on hope. The Progressive Empowerment Party, if it does one thing well, is it brings hope to this nation. And if you are in doubt as to your mission on Monday, if you are in doubt as to what you're supposed to tell your friends and your family, if you are in doubt of what's happening on the 16th of July, let's clear it up. There is a mission. We are gathering like patriots on Monday evening at 6 o'clock. The Progressive Empowerment Party headquarters at 19 Stanmore Avenue is open to the entire country. Come and stand with us, join with us as we count the votes and record the victory that sends the political earthquake to this country, that says change has finally arrived.
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. One use it well before it's too late.
No matter what Camille Robinson Regis tell you tonight, no matter what Kamla Prasad Bisesa tell you tonight, no matter what Keith Rowley tell you tonight, no matter what Stuart Young says to you ever, I want you to ask this question. If it is possible to be done now, why didn't you do it before?
If it is that who you're voting, baby, or not out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is they prove it to be only full amount. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that change must come about. Just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Stain your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power, terminate their reign. Let's put our country together again.
Hope and opportunity. That's what we bring to the people. On Monday, Felicia Holder, Belmont East, Christophe Samlal, Barataria. Did an interview today with one of the team managers for Barataria, Serenam, she's the deputy political leader, and she said there is a feeling of hope sweeping through Barataria that change is about to come. Christophe Samlal for Barataria, Felicia Holder for Belmont East. The tip of the spear, change is coming.
If for 30 years you voting them in, and these only tears as soon as they win, they give you big words and enslave your soul, promising you roads and giving potholes.
Ask the question, why is it flooding 56 years and $3 trillion later? Ask the question, why is there no water in the taps 56 years later, $3 trillion spent? Ask why the police service is corrupt, why they cannot secure the nation, why we cannot secure the borders. Ask the question why cocaine passes through this country like cocaine was born to pass through this country. Ask why it is so difficult for the average person to own a home. Ask why banks are allowed to advantage the public, taking their money, paying no interest and charging them fees to hold their money. Ask why the price of food is so expensive, why we encourage so much import for foods that we could be growing here. Ask why we've allowed government to come and government to go and mismanage this country. Ask those questions.
If they are the reason why the economy could sprout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can flout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building eyesores, east, west, north and south, they say we are vote them in. Vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. Stick your finger and vote them out. Rescue the country. Vote them out. Vote them out with tempo. They have been paid. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain.
Put a smile on
Let's
your
put our
face.
country together again.
That line. Vote them out with joyous refrain. Chip into that voting booth Monday. Dance your way to that voting booth. Vote them out with pleasure. Vote them out with pride. Vote them out with love. Vote them out with care and consideration and compassion for everybody else. Vote them out with a smile on your face. Vote them out that this is for the first time the people of this country have a real opportunity to gather as patriots and fix the mess that we've been enduring for the past 56 years.
If their policy is a fallacy, bureaucracy, a catastrophe, if they cannot cope and you see it so, then your only hope is for them to know. If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is that frustration, does make you want to shout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. Before they misuse out, teach you to sell and dig up. If it's you who vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. All of them, vote them out. Take your finger and vote them out.
Fire
Never
them.
let the system
Fire them.
vote them out in Scarborough.
Ooh, again, lightheaded with this cold. I want you to understand, we have a new frame, proud to be PEP. Send the message. Do me that as a favor. I am asking all of you now who are watching me live, go on my profile picture. You will see a link for the Proud to Be PEP link. Make that your frame. Make that your profile picture. Make your own profile picture with Proud to Be PEP. Ask all your friends to do the same. Let us paint the entire social media orange. Let us send a message to everybody. The day of the Patriots is upon us. All of the mocking pretenders must go.
People must come first, citizens by right. None of we are worse, yellow, black or white. Food, shelter and clothes, free movement and speech. A garden that grows, and one love for each.
We're asking you as people, as citizens, as brothers and sisters, we are asking you everything you ever learned in family, in community, everything you ever learned in church, temple, mosque, everything you ever learned in the highest teachings that you've read, they always stay true to one principle, that love, care, compassion, respect, consideration, those are the answers. We are not going to survive as a nation continuously embroiled in race war. You need to throw that behind you. Do not give any any credence to this black politics, Indian politics. End that now. PNM and UNC have destroyed this nation. Box drains and banditry. We need to decide right now if we want a better country. There is never going to be a better chance. It is only up to us. We the people of Trinidad and Tobago. This Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue, we are going to have probably our biggest gathering since we've been in government, since we've been in existence in the same government. 18 months. Come out this Saturday at noon. Bring the whole family, bring your friends, bring your neighbors. We have celebrities coming to say hello and to shake hands and endorse. Come and be a part of the growing mass of patriots that say to the high heavens, change is upon us. Enough is enough.
If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is that avarice is all they seem to know, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is their politics, it's just a puppy show. When elections day come, all bandits must go. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, stain your finger and show them no mercy. Vote them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power, terminate the reign. Let's put our country together again.
I know that we are on the correct path when real critical thinkers, civic-minded patriots, when I look at a man like Vernon de Lima, I mean, few people get my respect in this world. I judge the totality of your life, not just your capacity, but your integrity, your ethics, your morality, what you stood for, what you stood against. When men like Patrick Watson and Vernon de Lima, Ghassan Youssef, Garth Christopher, even Stephen Rees, the mighty crazy, the Calypsonian, when people like that crazy post on Facebook, he said I went to a event that the Progressive Empowerment Party had, and I felt like I was in family, and those people treat me with love. I just stumbled upon that post. It wasn't for me to read, it was him saying it. We are not trying to pretend that we've invented any of this. Success leaves clues. But if we've had 56 years of mismanagement, corruption and noise, shouldn't we deserve better? Should we want better? Should we stand for better? When people ask and they say, how we know what you're going to do? It's not a you thing. It's a we thing. The PEP says teamwork makes the dream work. If you are attracted or even interested in what we are saying, don't sit on your hands and wait to see what we do. Come and be a part of the party. Come and you ask members. You could come and meet people who in the party a month now and they're all up inside the management of the party. You know what's the mark? You know what's the measure? Love of country, love of people, civic-mindedness, patriotism, wanting a better country for all. That's all you need. We don't ask you for your degrees or your bank account or on which boat your mother or your father come. We don't ask those questions. We are a gathering of civic-minded patriots, formed a family, and hey, like any family, there will be disagreements. But when you come to a PEP meeting, you feel the love. I have found myself looking forward to a Saturday meeting just to be in the same room with these people that I am in this party with. There is so much real good human feelings, so much goodness, so much good intention. We gather not for racism or greed. We gather for high principles. We gather to bring all the people together under one flag. We gather to end the bogey of racism. We gather to lift all the boats like a rising tide. We gather to say, I have a little more. Let me give a little more. Let us see if we can change the country a little more. Make it a little better. We do this one people, all of us together. And if you have any interest in a better Trinidad and Tobago for you, yourself, your loved ones, come Saturday at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue. Those of you who are overseas and overjoyed with the PEP and want to help, we want money. Tell them you're playing. We need money. We ask if you could commit to $50 US a month, send that. We have no deep pocket financiers. If ever we get a deep pocket financier, we'll announce it. Because there can't be no hidden financiers and there can't be no strings attached. but you need money to fight elections. And so far, we've been doing well with very little. We've survived a media blackout. We've survived being unfunded, and we've changed national narrative. We've also changed other things that you'll be hearing about after the election. Right now, our focus is the election. But come Monday, the political climate in Trinidad and Tobago is changed forever. The Progressive Empowerment Party is not a third force. It is the best choice. The Progressive Empowerment Party is not another political party. The Progressive Empowerment Party is a real political option. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, if you think that you deserve better, if you want a better country for your family, come and join us. Those of you in Belmont, East and Barataria, do your duty. Wake up early. Come out, go in the polling station and vote yourself a better nation, vote yourself a better community, vote for Christophe Samlal in Barataria and vote for Felicia Holder in Belmont East. Do the country a favor. Those of you who want to volunteer and help, we still have spaces, we still have places. We need help in all kind of manner. If you're in Belmont East and Barataria and you need a drop to the polling station, my telephone number is 682-2110. You call me and I will come and pick you up and I will take you to vote. Okay? Because it is your right. Especially if you all are bedridden or you're old and you're elderly or you're infirm and you have no family and nobody else to call. Call me. Call me. We want Trinidad and Tobago to see that this is not a stunting party. This is the real deal. Come and be a part of this. 3474-PEP, PEPTT.com, peptrinbago@gmail.com, and PEP app, PEP, the PEP app. That is, our app is available in all the app stores, free of charge to download. I'm asking you again, do me three favors. 1, spread this video, share it, invite people to join the party. 2, change your profile pic, put the proud to be PEP frame on your profile pic. 3, if you could afford to help us financially, please dig as deep as you could and send the money. Dilwood Braffett is a deputy political leader. He's based in South Korea and he handles that. Ali G is the head of all the overseas chapters. She is a foundation member of the PEP. You could contact her. Satish Ramsaran is head of finance. Well, Felicia Holder, you know. And you can contact any of them to deal with. I don't really deal with the money, but contact them and they will tell you the best way to send money to help us. 10 US, 20 US, 50 US, whatever you could give. 100 US, 1,000 US. Psst. You know, we need it. If you want to win the election, help us do it. And the last and the final thing we ask you is come and volunteer. Just show up. They're not big set of heavy lifting, you know. Come and join the conversation. That's what the volunteering is about. Come and add your voice and your ideas because you've been thinking this through too. And we have no stranglehold on all of these solutions. Come and add your voice. Come and be a part of the conversation. My partner Gavin Bernard Franco said, "Good night, sir. My friend, the thunderstorm is brewing. The clouds have darkened and the rain is about to come. Take cover. Be aware the lightning will strike. This is the moment of truth, the awakening of intelligence. That is this moment when the realization of reality is clear. The land will be cleansed, washed, the vile nature of this nation." He is obviously a poet, but people are seeing it. An old lady called me on the phone. She said, "Mr. Philip, I get your number from his son. He just follow you on Facebook. And I just called to tell you something. I have nothing to give you, but I love you and I hope that you make it." And I couldn't answer. I didn't know what to say. How do you answer? I'm saying it now. I get the same feeling that I got when she called me. Because that just put the responsibility now of that lady and her expectations on me. And we're not stopping. We are not giving up. We are going to do everything it takes to slay the dragons that have destroyed this country. Trinidad and Tobago has a real political movement. They could say what they want. This is an army of lions led by a lion. When you meet the women in this party, you know they say lionesses. We are not joking, stunting, stand up there, sit down, shut up and don't talk party. Every single member of the PEP, you could start from the gate, walk straight through to the office. Before you reach me, you could talk to people and you will understand the length, breadth and depth of this organization. The PEP is the real future of Trinidad and Tobago. Let us start it now. Let us put behind us the madness, the racism, the corruption of the PNM and the UNC. Let us begin the process of bringing all those criminals to justice. We go as far back as independence. Once you stole money from this country, we want it back. All of that we promise you. We have a better day is dawning. It starts this Monday. It starts this Saturday. Come and join us. Spread the word. Change your profile pic now. Tag me when you change your profile pic. I'd like to see. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.